People don't understand the violence it took for me to become this gentle and kind.
Woo. All right, you guys. That's another one and another one. Another episode of Coming in Hot, Coming in Sizzling, Spicy Rub Skins, Coming in Hot. Now, guys, today, I'm not even going to do a whole long introduction. If you're watching this show, then you 100% know who this man is. King Azoulay in the building, on the couch, coming in hot. Give him a round of applause, folks. Let's go. Whoop, whoop. Welcome, my guy.
My brother.
How you doing, man?
Thank you for having me.
Your beard is incredible. It's an incredibly coiffed beard.
Yeah.
It's like, do you oil that thing?
So I'll share with you. Actually, right now I'm coming out with this incredible beard oil.
Of course you
that I put together. So I've traveled the world. I've went everywhere. And you know what? I've put together this amazing oil. It's my own concoction. It's incredible. It's from all over the world, like pieces from Romania and Hungary and
right
India.
Side of your beard is Hungary, and middle is Russia.
Yep. It's a big mix. But I tell you,
but it's looking sweet.
Ever since I put it on, my beard has started growing.
It looks
nice. It looks full, and I can't leave the house without this. Bro. If I don't have this on, it's like I didn't shampoo my hair. You know, like when you don't shampoo your hair, like that's how I feel.
I'm just ashy if I don't shampoo my hair. So let's go back to the beginning. I always start at the beginning with all my guests about life. Man, you are incredibly successful, a self-made millionaire, multimillionaire, and from Israel. And how does that happen? Can you just walk me through like early days?
You know, I'll tell you, everybody that I have met who is not from the U.S., they work so much harder than people who are raised in the U.S.
I'm not going to argue with you, brother.
People who are immigrant are willing to work so much harder.
Do you guys hear that?
I'm sure they agree too at home. They already know 100% that the people who grew up here, they don't want to work as hard. For some reason, they feel entitled. And it's an issue that I have even with my own employees. And it sucks because I have to then look for foreigners to work for me because they just work so much harder. And they don't look at the clock. It's not like, oh, I clocked out, right? Right now it's 5 o'clock. I clocked out. I don't answer the phone anymore. I'm at my lunch. Please don't bother me. What, am I going to get a lawsuit? Are you kidding me?
No.
We're here to get work done.
Hey, King, look, man. What I've realized is, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Is that, and this has what been my problem, and I'm sorry for anybody that voted for Trump. I don't want to go in on it, but when you're talking about deporting immigrants, if we go back into history, I'm very big in history, and you know, how was New York built? Irish, Scottish, Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban.
Albanian,
Italian, you know, all of them not from this country.
Correct.
And so to deport the people that helped put the bricks, the foundations down of our land, and treat the people that were actually here first, anyway, negatively, really bothers me. But what inspires me is to see that you don't care. Like most immigrants that I know that are successful, they don't care about all of that. They're like, this is a place that we can make it happen.
Yeah.
And this is where we're going to be. So how did you settle here?
It's the American dream. Listen, my mom brought us in here. I was in my mom's stomach. She wanted to have me born here. Back in the day, you couldn't just fly in and out, even if you had a visa. You didn't want them to see that you're flying in and out. So she actually smuggled herself through Mexico. Smuggled herself. 9 months pregnant with me to come here and have me.
By herself?
By herself.
Wow.
By herself.
Hey folks, I want to thank my sponsor, Nebula 9. This This is a special drink, folks. You will never pick up a Truly, pick up a White Claw ever again after drinking this. It's ready to drink cocktail, 9% alcohol. And this is the thing. It's the first alcohol to be infused with organic apple cider vinegar, which helps with digestion. You know, most people, they wake up, they had a few, they got a headache, they got a hangover. Nah, you wake up feeling like a rock star. And it comes in 4 flavors. Great Beyond, Pineapple, Passion Fruit, Paradise, Moscow Mule, Pommy Blue, Cosmo. Well, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you right now, this is the last you'll ever drink.
Please drink responsibly.
And you'll be coming in hot.
They paid some guys in Mexico. Some guys in Mexico smuggled her into the U.S. so she could have me all by herself.
Wow.
When she arrived here, the people who organized this was my uncles. The problem was that we didn't know about was that they were working with Pablo Escobar. And there was an issue where one of the brothers got a little bit too carried away and wanted to keep the money for himself. I don't know if you know much about Pablo.
Yeah, I know a lot about Pablo. Feds, relax.
So the way I heard it from my family and not from anybody else, you know, not from narcos. The way my family said it is that he trusted people. He believed that nobody was going to steal from him. So he didn't send you coke and ask you to send him money at the same time. There was, here it is, I'm fronting you.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. Mm-hmm. Don't F me because I'll F you 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Here it is. When you sell it, bring me the money.
Right.
My uncle, being greedy,
took the money, kept the money.
He kept the money, and he told him that the Beverly Hills Police Department
took the money,
took the supply.
Wow.
That he got pulled over, they did a search, and took everything.
Wow.
Pablo had people everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
It was only $2 million. But it
only
cost
$2 million. I've seen people lose their life over $200.
I know.
What you mean?
But he was making a lot of money with Pablo at the time. So stealing $2 million was not good.
Not good at all.
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea.
I mean, imagine that every time that he's sending him something, it's a minimum of $2 million worth.
Yeah, period.
I'm talking about $2 million worth of supply from Pablo. You take that, you quadruple that.
That's what your job, that's what you're supposed to do.
Exactly.
Give him back his change.
Right. You're taking it, you're selling it, 8 million, you're taking back 2 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. You keep in your pocket.
I'm not condoning
I'm not
drug
telling
dealing.
you guys to sell
Okay, guys,
drugs.
I'm not telling you
Do
how
not.
to flip. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you how to flip them kilos. You know.
But this is the real podcast, right? We could talk. We could
But
talk.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna flip kilos, you got to bring back. Don't F over the plug.
Yeah. Don't. You'll turn into the plug.
So you got in. You were born here.
So my uncle then got caught by Pablo, and he shot him. But they didn't just shoot him. They kidnapped one brother, and then the other brother they were looking for. And until they found the second brother that they wanted, they knew that he stole. They kept the other brother. But then they found the second brother who they wanted. He pulled up to the house. He was going to get all the rest of his stuff. He was going to flee to Israel. And they came with automatics, and they blasted him like 2,000 bullets.
Wow.
So my mom went, and she went to identify the body with cousins and stuff. And there was no body. It was just pieces of meat all over the car. So we went back to Israel. And after we went back to Israel, we came back here when I was 10. And when I was 10, I didn't speak a word in English, nor did anyone in my family members spoke English. But we made it somehow.
How?
We made it work.
How do you come to a foreign land, don't speak a lick of English, you don't know the culture, you don't know how the inner workings of America works. How do you move through that?
And that's where people don't understand that it is way harder than they think. But once you do it, you find ways to do it. For example, all of us came from back in the day. If you take my parents, they didn't come here and have Social Security. They didn't have a work permit. So many of these people don't have those things. They don't have family. They come here, they're alone.
Right.
But it was actually tested that men operate 300% better when their back is against the wall.
I believe that.
So imagine my father coming here, not having a penny, only having enough to survive.
He's going to work his butt off.
Work his butt off. My uncle then came here to the U.S., another uncle who was a big gangster in Israel. And he was working with another uncle of mine who doesn't even know that I exist, who got like 50 years in prison now. The biggest gangster in Israel of all time. The Pablo Escobar of Israel.
Wow.
If he says tomorrow in the prisons, nobody eats, nobody's eating. Everybody's fasting for as long as he says.
Wow.
That's how powerful he is in the prisons and everywhere. Everybody look at him. He's an idol. Like he can't be killed. He's very, very famous in Israel. The most famous person. So my other uncle, not him, came to the U.S. and decided he was going to work here as a gangster. And then he took over town. He took over town. He was like a menace to society at that time. After a few years, my dad realized he doesn't want to be around him because obviously he's going too wild. And my dad decided he was going to take the construction route. And at the time, I was about 13, 12, and my dad didn't have a construction car. He had a little Honda. It was a tiny vehicle.
Didn't have a truck.
No truck. I won't forget this, and this shows you guys that no matter what, you could make it. We knew no construction. My dad goes, "You're coming with me. We're going to do construction." Well, we don't know how to do construction. He said, "We're going to find out. We're going to learn." We go to a place. There's a lot of Israelis doing construction. Tell them we're subcontractors. We could do the job. They give us a job to do. They give us a job to do. They give us a bathroom.
You want Caesar Stone?
Yes.
This wasn't in the original bid, bro. This wasn't in the original bid, bro.
So,
you want Caesar Stone?
So we just do the installation.
Granted, what do you want?
And listen, this is gonna blow your mind right now, okay? We go to Home Depot and we got to get these long 2x4s. And we don't know what length, but we know we need a 2x4 because we need to put together some wood in there. My dad, we arrived and he's like, "How are we going to fit all this wood in our car? We don't have a truck." My dad goes, "I have an idea. Ben, take the hammer and break the back window so we could stick it in." I smashed the back window, make a hole, and that's where we stuffed all the wood and the pipes. Get this straight. We're done doing this. We're going to the job. We start working. We don't know what the hell we're doing. We don't know anything of what we're doing. We start doing the bathroom. We start with the plumbing. We call the inspector. The inspector comes over, goes, "Who's the idiot that did this plumbing?" My dad goes, we are just the managers. We told the plumber it doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. What the hell did he do? He's like, "Tell me how to do it so I can tell the plumber to fix it. And don't worry, I'm going to fire this plumber." The guy goes, "Okay, this is how you do it." And we used to write it down, write down.
You were stealing knowledge.
And now this is how we learned how to do construction.
Oh, wow.
Piece by piece, by the inspectors.
That's what I'm going to tell you, folks. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this clearly. Some people don't know how to be broke. For example, you know, when markets crash, you'll find multiple people that may not make the news, that aren't famous, but like Wall Street guys, bankers, with their brains blown out in their garage, sitting inside their Bentley because they just lost it all. They don't know how to be broke.
No.
people that just give up, don't know how to be broke,
Yeah,
right?
but those are very, very weak men. I'll tell you, time of crisis are the biggest times of opportunity.
Where you see who you are.
Yeah.
Right? So when did you start? Let's fast forward. So you came here, boom, and I saw you started fighting.
Uh-huh.
Why? When?
So because I grew up in a family of gangsters, I took that route. And obviously, I realized that people speak differently when they get punched in the mouth.
Oh, yes, they do.
They just speak differently.
Yes, they do.
And it's not like I'm a bad guy or that I wanted to do anything bad, but at the same time, I fought back one time when I was 6 years old. And ever since, I knew that fighting back is the only way. So when I came here, everybody called me a fag because I had very tight clothes because I came from Israel. In Israel, you wear like skinny jeans. Today, it's in. But back when I arrived, everybody was wearing Rockaware, Echo. You know, if they're not sagging and they're not big, they're not baggy jeans. If your butt ain't hanging out, you're not cool. I remember I bought these shoes back in the day. They were called BKs.
BK, British Knights.
Yeah.
Come on, baby.
Okay.
With the British Knights, boy.
Everybody called me Burger King, pay for less, bullshit, laughed at me.
I rocked my British Knights hard, proud.
I loved them back in
Yeah.
the day, right? I thought I was the cool guy. Well, everybody laughed at me. So I had long hair, tight pants, tight clothes. People called me a fag. I didn't speak English. I didn't know what it even meant.
They thought you were soft.
I thought I said, okay, I'm a fag. I didn't understand what I'm saying.
What area did you move? What area were you living in? Out here?
North Hollywood.
Oh, you were in NoHo.
So when they were telling me I'm somebody, I thought they were being kind to me. Later on, I started to find out what they're saying about me. So eventually, I just got into a fight with a few of the boys in school. And then it went downhill from there, where I would constantly get into fight. Suspended and kicked out. And I got kicked out of so many schools.
Yeah, me too.
And eventually, I found an amazing school, which was in Calabasas. And in Calabasas, my parents said, you know what? In order for you to go to Calabasas, we have to give them this address in Calabasas. Or else you can't go to school in Calabasas. You have to live in the area. So we did. And I became friends with everybody, and I was the coolest kid in school. And for the first time, I wasn't failing all of my classes.
You had peace.
I had peace.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Straight A student.
Yeah.
One of my so-called best friends, Israeli guy today, you know, still around. He thought I didn't want to be his friend. So he went to the dean and told him to call the sheriff because he told him where I live. He told him that I don't live in the area and that I used the fake address.
On you?
He snitched on me.
To blow your address up?
To blow the address, snitched on me. Let me tell you, that was
whack,
the biggest
bro.
humiliation I've ever had
That's
in my life.
Oh, we would have. I don't even want to.
Calabasas, right?
That would have been.
And I was at peace. I fell in love with this girl. I thought I was going to have a girlfriend at the time. You know, I was like,
you're like, finally.
Everybody loved me in school. I started to get on the football team and all of that stuff. And all of a sudden, boom, Maor goes and tells the dean that I don't live in the area. Because he thought I wouldn't want to be his friend. And I took him to my actual house because I trusted him because he was Israeli. And let me tell you, some Israelis have betrayed me more than anything you could ever imagine. And
some black people have betrayed me more than anybody you can imagine. So it doesn't matter.
It sucks.
It doesn't matter.
It sucks because they say
people
to you,
are
you know,
people.
Exactly. And that's as I got older, I realized it doesn't matter who you are and where you're from. It matters the person and the individual that you are, your soul. If you have a good soul, you could be from anywhere. If you have a shit soul, you could be from anywhere.
And you'll make it. And so that just irritated me right now. So I can only imagine how it felt when you were.
Let me tell you, the sheriff came into the class, called me.
In front of the students?
In front of the students, embarrassed me in front of everybody, and kicked me out of the school. Now, when they brought me to the dean, Maor was sitting there next to me and telling them, yeah, he lives in North Hollywood.
Dude,
he doesn't live here.
In junior high?
Middle school, yeah.
Come on, bro.
So they kicked me out. Today, I'm building the most beautiful house for me and my wife in Calabasas, right down the street from that school. I'm actually going to do a full documentary on it and what happened to me at that time. But then I realized right now I'm building
That's
this
amazing.
crazy house. I don't even know why I'm in Calabasas because I'm a city guy. Let me be in the city. Let me be around people. I love people. I'm a people's person. And all of a sudden I'm like in the middle of nowhere in the hills. He said he was going to Kevin Hart, right, Kevin Hart lives right down the street from me, you know?
I lived in Calabasas. I lived in Hidden Hills, actually,
So it's,
for years. I lived off Valley Circle,
yeah.
right there.
Yeah, Hidden Hills.
Yeah, Long Valley.
Long
But-
Valley, I built a house there.
Yeah. So I understand all of that. So, but the fighting part. When did you say fighting
So
from?
when I went from there and I got kicked out, they took me to a school called Pacific Ridge, which is almost like a prison, but
Where's
a
that at?
school. It is off of Satakoy and Sepulveda, and it was
Oh,
like
yeah,
a
it is
prison.
right there.
It was like a prison,
Yeah.
and I went in there, and then everybody were horrible kids,
Yeah. The worst.
the worst.
Yeah.
And after that,
So you were fighting every day.
I started to fight, and as soon as I started to fight, then I got into a lot of trouble. I got into fights everywhere, and when I was 15, my mom got cancer, and that's when I lost my shit. The doctor said, it might be a whole year before she passes. We don't know if she's gonna make it. My mom had 8, 9 surgeries just because of the cancer.
What did that do for you mentally at that age?
Mentally it broke me down, but I knew I had to be the man. But in the beginning, I was a menace to society. I mean, that's it. Like I knew fuck it. So
Yeah.
I would go out to places and I would stare at people and people would stare at me back. And one day I got into a fight with some of the wrong crowd. It was Russian guys. But I ended up beating the fuck out of like 5 of them. And the boss, which was a big mafia boss, I'm not gonna share his name, but he became my boss because he took out a gun, put it to my head, told me to stop fighting. And I told him to shoot me. And he saw in my eyes that something was going on. I said, shoot me.
This is a movie. Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And if I can remember that like it was yesterday.
This is a freaking. Your life is a television series, bro.
My dad also broke his back at the time, so he became handicapped because he had to learn how to walk again. He broke his spine, so he had a surgery and he was handicapped. And then my grandpa got
Too much going on.
too much. My grandpa got stroke, became also handicapped, half of his body paralyzed. So
And how does a kid? You know what I mean? Like what people don't realize, and I know there's so many viewers out there that are, when things are happening when we are young, we didn't go to therapy. It wasn't. We didn't have therapists. It was we handle this.
No, it was
how
dad beating me at home and that's it.
That's it. It's what it is.
Who can he talk to?
Yeah, it's what it is. But it's those that have figured out ways to navigate those waters that I have the utmost respect for, and you're one of them. So you
So you asked me how I started fighting.
yeah, because I want to get into what I want to ask.
He pulled a gun at me and told me to come outside to talk to him. And I felt all of a sudden like I'm ready to go. So I told him to shoot me. And I
You
said,
felt
"I'm
like
not-"
you were gonna die?
Yeah, I knew I was gonna die at that moment. I thought I was gonna die. So when he pulled the gun out, I told him to shoot me, and he told me, "I'm not gonna shoot you. I just want you to stop." And he looked me in the eyes, and he realized I was a young boy. It was a little dark in there, it was a hookah lounge. It was a little dark in there. They didn't see who I was, but then he saw that I'm a young man, 15 years old. He pulled his gun down, put it in his pants, told me, "Come, I want to talk to you." I said, "If you want to shoot me, you can shoot me in here. You don't need to go outside." Because normally if you tell somebody, "Come, we're going to take a walk," somebody's coming back not walking.
Right.
So he tells me, "I'm not going to do anything to you. I just want to talk to you." When we went outside, he talked to me like a dad. He asked me how old I was, and I said 15. And he asked me what I was going through.
And you told him.
I told him what I was going through. I felt like it was a safe place for me to say it. At first, I was with a little bit of attitude. I said, "What do you care? It's not your business."
You had an attitude problem. You didn't give a.
Yeah, I was ready to die.
Yeah, I know. That was me, man. When I was That was me.
And then he told me, he said, you know what? You're an incredible fighter. I think you should be fighting for me. But more than that, I want to be like an older brother for you.
So
Why don't you come and join my team?
You joined his team.
Yeah.
And you started fighting.
I became one of the guys in the mafia. I was named the Kid. And it was the Russian mob. So it's called the Red Mob.
Yeah.
And I started fighting underground fights.
Wow, that's tight. I mean, guys, I'm not trying to glorify anything. I'm just saying, it's gangster to gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the life.
Yeah.
He's telling the freaking truth. So you started kicking everybody's butt.
Yeah, he was putting me in there with anybody. I told him, give me anybody, I'll eat their throat. I don't care who it is.
You were just a killer.
I was a killer. He was literally saying, just kill him. He was literally telling me, go and kill him.
He never asked you to take dives, nothing? Mm-hmm. No, you could just go whoop their ass. Just go kill him.
Fucking kill him. I was just insane.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, I was insane. I wanted to die. So when someone would punch me, if they didn't punch me, I'd punch myself and say, punch me.
That's exactly,
Get me.
dude.
You know,
I don't want to. We didn't draft this up, bro. I was telling my wife this the other day. I was like, I would tell people to hit me so that I could get
the feeling,
so I can go or I'd hit myself, so I could go destroyed. There was no other way about it.
People actually don't understand, and I understood it today.
I couldn't fight. Without an attitude.
But we have pain inside,
yeah,
and we actually want to numb that pain, so we substitute it with other kind of pain,
abuse,
and
physical abuse.
Yeah, I like to feel the pain.
I like to
from
feel
a
the
punch,
pain.
from a hit.
Oh, that's so. I've gone through so much therapy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I know what you're saying. I've gone through so much therapy. I'm such a better person. Don't judge me.
Being this kind of a person, people don't understand the kind of violence it took to be this gentle and to be this kind and to be this.
Say that again. People don't understand what?
People don't understand the violence it took for me to become this gentle and kind.
Whew. That's the bar of the day. So I'm going to ask you this. You've been beating up people for a long time. So I'm very close with Mike Tyson. Mm-hmm. Very close. Me and my wife, we consulted for them for a long time.
I love that guy.
Yeah. Mike, Kiki, the whole family. Shout out Azim, Mom, Ali, Pop, everybody. I had my trepidations at first on if this was going to be a real fight with Mike and Jake. And then I was like, I said, I think he pissed Mike off at a certain point. I knew it was exhibition because I saw the contract. I was like, okay, he put it up. But nah, somewhere in there, I was like, Mike's going to click out. Didn't happen. Mike played by the rules. He got a bag. But I want to ask you, Jake wanted to fight you. Why didn't you fight him?
So this is what
Why
happened.
didn't you fight that Viking, man?
So let me tell you, it was back October 7th, right before October 7th happened when we started to talk about it. I think we first started talking back, I would say September-ish, about this fight. And I said, let's have a fight. I'm King Azoulay. I rep Israel. I rep the U.S., but I rep the people. I saw some of the fights that he had. I don't think they are good fights.
And you can beat him.
I know I can beat the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not a boxer. I'm a heck of a fucking crazy fighter.
Yeah.
I could fight. I could flip. I could do. I've went to China. I've trained with Shaolin monks. I've been to Thailand. I trained Muay Thai. I've done Kung Fu. I've done it all. But I've done street fight. I've had over 2,000 fights in my life. Right. I am a fucking brawler.
So why did you refuse to fight?
I'm an animal. So I get all excited about this fight.
Possibility.
Happy. Yes, it's going to happen. That's amazing. And one of the guys that works with Jake tells me, listen, I have Jake on the phone, this and that. Give me a call. He wants to know a couple of things, multiple things. He wants to know your height. He wants to know your weight. What's your background, this and that. We go back and forth. Everything is good. Then he tells me, listen, all of this has to stay under wraps. We can't talk about it until everything is signed, everything is good. Then he tells me I need to sign NDAs as well. I told him, no problem, but send it over. I'll have my CFO, I think it was my CFO or my COO, I was going to have sign it. And he goes, can we get on the phone? I said, sure. We got on the phone. What does he tell me? He tells me, look, because I know who you are, and I know how much you respect yourself, this fight, you can make a lot of money. But you do have money, so you might not need the money, but it's a lot of money. But in this fight here, you couldn't do what you normally do in fights.
Meaning you can't knock him out.
And I didn't understand. I said, listen, I understand it's a boxing fight.
Yeah,
I said, okay, I can't kick, I can't punch. I mean, I could punch, I can't kick, I can't elbow, I can't knee. Okay. He goes, no, it's a little bit different. So I know you see all the noise, you see the knockouts, you see all of that. Well, the guys that agreed to get knocked out actually got paid a lot of money.
The guys that agreed to get knocked
out got paid a lot of money. Mm-hmm. But there was guys who didn't agree to get knocked out, but still got paid good money, but nowhere near as the guys that get knocked out.
Yeah, I heard this.
So I
heard this.
I said, look, if he can knock me out, go ahead, knock me out. But I'm knocking him the fuck out, I promise you. I said if he could knock me out, fine. And I'll take the money. Knock me out. I've been hit in the head with a baseball bat before. I wasn't knocked out. Okay.
So what did he say on your response?
He goes, no, you can't knock him out.
That's what he said to Mike. They told Mike he can't knock him out.
So, you see, I don't even know this.
This is true.
So I don't know this. That's the thing. I don't know this.
If Mike knocked him out, I'm telling you the truth right now. If Mike knocked him out, it would have been a difference between a $20 million check and a $1 million check.
Oh, more than that? He would have been sued.
Yeah, and sued.
They told me.
Yeah.
So he goes, if you are going to hurt him, you are going to hurt his career, you're going to hurt his show, he will sue you. You can't hurt him.
So you're like, what am I going to do? I only know one way to fight.
I was shocked.
Mike only knows one way to fight.
I was shocked. Hold on, I'll tell you what happened. I know how to fight very well. I could read fighters. The second I saw that, I stopped watching. I didn't even watch the fight. Because I saw and I understood what was happening. I said they did the exact same. From the beginning, I told everybody, listen, what he did to me, he's probably going to do with Mike. So anyways, it's not going to happen. But I'll tell you a little bit about what I think. It was a shock to me that even the guy who works with him, who knows who I am, would reach out to me and would want me to participate in something like that for money. Because I'm the kind of guy that money doesn't buy me. I have a lot of money, okay? I understood when I had $1 million and when I got to 100 mil, I realized the same fucking thing. Money does not make you happy. It is only a tool. It's a form of energy that gets you the freedom that you want. And the freedom that I have is more than enough. I don't need the big house. I don't need the nice cars. I have them. It's nice, but I don't need them. I have peace.
That's it.
Let me sit with a margarita in Thailand on the beach with my wife. That doesn't cost much. And I enjoy it more than anything.
Let me tell you something I respect about you so much. That you said no.
I couldn't.
And one of the hardest things for people to know how to do is, in any business, is say no. Yes, you know, I can get movie offer after movie offer after movie offer, but it's like, do I want to do that movie? Do I want to do that television show? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do this? And what is it like? Is it up to par? Is it cheap? What is it? What level is it? And so making those decisions. So why are you just now like easily speaking about it? Because
if I were to speak about it before that fight, who would believe me? who would believe me when I would speak about it before the fight, right?
Before Mike
Before Mike
right.
Tyson's fight.
Nobody would believe you.
But when I saw it, I said, hey,
So they
first
really
of all, I have
think he
friends-
knocked out. They really think he knocked out everybody.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. I have friends who lost a couple $1 million just betting.
Me too.
Okay?
Bro.
Just in betting.
Okay, listen. Let me just tell you this, and I'm going to go on the record and say, I made an executive decision. I said, I made a big bet, Mike, that night. And I was so frustrated, not at just the fight, but that I lost a lot of money that my wife doesn't even really know about. So don't tell her, but she's going to see this anyway. But anyway, because I was guaranteed victory. And I was so mad at Mike, but you don't go just bang on Mike like, hey, yo, Mike, why you didn't tell me? Why you didn't say nothing? And then I saw it late. So is there anything that you would, if Jake was here right now, what would you tell him?
Honestly, I have to say, good job that you're able to put on a show like this and fool everybody, because he fooled everybody. But at the same time, that is not a man move.
I don't think he wants to fight you for real.
That is a coward move.
Yeah.
To take everybody's money like that, where you could
He rugged a lot of people.
Yeah, go ahead.
He rugged
and
a
just
lot of
so
people.
you know, you're not a real man.
You rugged a lot of people.
And I can tell you, in my world, men like that, you know where they end.
Don't last long.
Exactly. Because
so Jake, do you think beard versus beard? I'm going beard versus beard. Your beard looks raggedy compared to
100%.
this thing right here.
100%.
This is a perfect beard. Jake, do you think you could put some crinkles in this beard? I'd love to see it, but we're not going to start no shit right now.
Let me tell you something. The problem with Jake is that he believes that money makes the man, but it's the man that makes the money. If you have a price on yourself, that means that you are for sale. My price is my life.
That's it.
I am not for sale.
That's it.
There is no number that you could put on me to buy me.
Okay, so look, I'm going to say
that
this
is exactly
to you.
why I said no.
This is why I said no to Diddy. Not because, well, first of all, I'm not gay. Second of all, you can't promise me I'm talented enough to go get it myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything compromising to my morals, to my integrity, to my principles for me to go be successful, period.
My dream was to become one of the leading actors, superstars of the world. Everything that these actors used to do, like Jean-Claude Van Damme, Bruce Lee, that is what I could do.
Dream's not over.
I could run off of walls and do flips off of trees, parkour. I could fight. I could do it all.
You're not done, man. You're not done.
I went to school. Do you know who Howard Fine is?
Yeah.
All right. I've never, ever talked about this.
Let me hear.
Never. I've never actually shared this with anybody because I was embarrassed. But you said Diddy right now, so I'm going to tell you something. I went and I signed up for the school with Howard Fine years ago. And I was planning to become a top actor. He told me I was so talented. And it was...
How long did you take?
Not long. Not long. So I don't know if you know, but he's gay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the open or not. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
I have respect.
But
so, but
I don't know if you went.
That's known. That's known.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, he let's say approached me in the wrong ways. Yeah, multiple times.
I'll get you the role. I'll get you your next movie.
And he tried.
Rub the legs.
And I was like, whoa, what are you doing?
Right.
At the end, he gave me back all my money because he was scared. He refunded me all of my money, by the way.
For all the classes?
Yeah, for all the classes. And I left out of there. And I was so fucking pissed off.
You're my guy, dude. You're my guy.
That was years ago. And he kind of killed my dream. He killed my dream because I wanted to be a top actor.
And that's The dream is not done.
It's not.
Hear me.
That's why I'm on social media today, because I want to bring my dream to life.
Hear me right now. The dream is not done. And if you had the dream, if you had the vision, then that means you have to execute it. And nothing that came in your way, that was all adversary. So you had to pivot in the interim to survive, but look what God did. So now you pivoted. You didn't become the big action star that you wanted to become, boom, boom, boom. But then you became a multimillionaire.
Correct.
How?
Well, first,
How, folks? How?
let's start like this. My dad kicked me out on the streets when I was 17. Obviously, working with the mafia, he didn't like that. And also at home, I would talk back to him. And he's very old school Moroccan Israeli. My dad was very hard on me my whole life anyways. Hit me whenever he wanted, broke things around the house, cursed me daily. I mean, it is what it is. Very, very old school, very crazy guy. I still don't talk to him till this day. So when I was 17, he threw me out on the street, and I was living at Hazeltine Park under a tree. That was my spot. And it's crazy because I took my wife to actually see where I used to sleep.
To the park.
I took her and I showed her where I used to live. And I used to take showers at 24 Hour Fitness. And I was working with the mafia. And eventually at the age of 18, I went to jail. And I've done a lot of things, and at the time they thought I murdered some people. And I've been to jail like 8 times. But that time they thought I murdered some guys, and I didn't. And eventually they let me out. But then when I got out, I said, I'm never coming back here. This is not for me. So I kind of ghosted the world. And I said, that's it. I'm done. Sometimes they say blood in, blood out. Not in this case. In this case, he was like a father to me, but an older brother, He cared about me. He also knew that I would never speak.
So he let you out?
Yeah, I said, I want to do other things. He said, it's completely fine. He's like, I love you like a son. So that was it at the time. I ghosted the world. And believe it or not, I went into cleaning carpets. I was cleaning carpets in morning time in houses. And I was cleaning carpets at like Bloomingdale's and Macy's, and had those machines to clean tiles in the middle of the night. I just found a guy who does it. I started to do it with him. And then right after that, I got into another company with another guy who wanted to go from carpet cleaning to air conditioning. And then I came in and I started to work with him. I did everything, but I had that urge to show him that I'm so worthy, that I did so much that after 3 months, he says, I don't know how to pay you. I got out of jail, so what did he need? In order to get jobs, he needs telemarketers. Well, I knew how to speak to telemarketers, so I would go outside of all the rest of the businesses and take everybody's telemarketers, bring them to us. Oh, he needed sales guys? Well, I'm 19, and all of my boys are sales guys, 19, 20, 21. Take them from all the companies. Oh, he needed installers? No problem. I knew how to speak Spanish. I grew up with my dad, doing construction. Great. Let me get these guys, those guys. The end, after 3 months, he said, I don't know how to pay you. I said, well, I think it's best you make me a partner. And we became partners. And after about a year, I already started investing into like real estate, buying properties and things like that. And I caught him stealing from me. Because everything was on a handshake. Another Israeli, my own kind. So he stole from me from what I calculated was about $350,000. I never looked at the books. He thought I was going to kill him. The first thing he said, please don't kill me. I said, I'm not that same guy anymore. You could have everything. I went and I opened one on my own. I did my own air conditioning business. And at the same time, I was doing construction, air conditioning, solar, and anything that you had to do in homes. Even if it was outdoor landscape, roofing, whatever it is, I did it. All the money I was making, I was putting it into houses and doing flips or new build. By the time I wasn't doing them as big as I'm doing them today. They were smaller new builds. made great money. And then I said, you know what? One of the guys that was working in an attic, he wasn't working for me, but he would come on from time to time to work with me. And he got into one of the attics, and he got asbestosis because he was breathing asbestos.
Yeah.
So he got a disease called asbestosis, which is like a stage 4 cancer, lungs, and he died.
Like mesothelioma type.
Like mesothelioma.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those. So after that, I thought to myself, man, I don't want to even let these guys in the attic. And I thought to myself, what can I do? And then I had a major car accident where I kind of almost broke my back too. And they told me I needed some surgeries. I figured out how to heal myself, but at the same time, I worked on patents, my own inventions, started inventing stuff, did multiple inventions. Until today, I have one of my patents that is mine still. The other ones I sold to a very big company, exited out. I have two other friends who are with me. They're the ones who hooked me up with them, and we did extremely well. They took the patents. They said, this is mine. Big pharma kind of company. This is mine. It's a medical tech company. My company was medical tech. And I exited out. We took $150 million, split it between the three of us.
Nice.
And I was golden. Exit. I was golden.
Nice.
I didn't
exit.
need anything.
Nice exit. Well, congratulations. I hope y'all clapping for that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go. This is it. Quick. I'm gonna go quick. I'm gonna go quick. Okay. I want Ben's opinion. This is Ben's opinion. Okay? And I don't have to give my opinion. So we're going to just say Ben's opinion, Elon Musk.
Ooh. So I love Elon, to be honest with you. I think that guy is absolutely a genius. He's here to change the world. Some people seem to have a lot of problem with him, but some things are 100%, some things might not be 100% in my opinion in the things that he does. For example, everything right now is electric. If they want to close you in your house again, they could close you in your house, shut off your cars, and you're not going anywhere.
You're not going anywhere.
Well, he's a part of that. But I do love him. I do love him for what he does.
I say that all the time. If they pull the plug.
But if they pull the plug and it's a computer.
If they pull the plug.
Now, there's another thing. He believed that AI was too much, and he got off of this program that they were doing back in the day with whole AI and that. He didn't believe in AI because he knew that AI could be very dangerous for humans. But now everything that he's doing is AI and iRobot, right? And now what happens if something happens in the system and then kill all humans?
Which brings me to my next point. So you're talking to kill all humans. Well, before you kill all humans, let's talk about crypto. Everybody's going crazy. Right now that Bitcoin is at 100K.
Yeah, 103.
103.
Yeah, but it hit 100K, it's like, whoa.
So we're not even talking about altcoins and what they're going to do. But this is directly correlated because the same thing with crypto, if the power grid goes down, we're toast.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So people don't understand that crypto, for example, like Bitcoin is an asset. It is not digital money.
Correct.
Right? So the government wants to have CBDC, which is digital currency. That right there is an asset. That's why it could grow. That's why it could be more and more and more each time, right? It could go up in value, down in value. We've been
trying to figure out, and then now they're coming in trying to regulate, but it's...
Yes, but it's an asset. And as long as it's an asset, the government won't take a hold on it. But just like it's on the blockchain and just like everything is recorded there, someone could pull the plug and there is no blockchain, there is no internet. For example, do you know how there is electricity and internet connecting? For example, you could do right now a FaceTime video with me and I'm in Israel.
Yeah.
How do you get that much internet? Do you know how?
How?
Because there's huge power lines going through the oceans from continent to continent, and people don't even know about them.
Oh, fiber optics.
But we are connected, right? Well, what if right now they just turn it off? Then there is no Wi-Fi from here to Israel. You're not going to be able to
when everybody panicked a couple months ago. Yeah.
So
Okay.
everything could be shut down, but it gets to the point where everything could be shut down,
Point.
right?
That part. So I'm going to ask you 2 more questions. Why are you on social media?
Truly to help men improve, to help men get stronger. The world has gotten very weak. The world has gotten soft. Men are not even using their own strength anymore. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they came before this life. Do you know where you came from before this life?
Not before this life.
And after this life, do you know where you're going?
I don't know.
But it looks like you know what the fuck you're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most people don't. That is the problem.
Yeah.
So I'm here to help men improve, get better, get stronger. Use your physicality and your mentality are linked. No matter what you do, your physicality and your mentality are linked, but also your soul is linked together. I have something called the holy triangle that I've created. I have the money that I want, the relationship with my wife that I want, and I have the body that I want. How many people do you know that could sit here and have a 6-pack like this at the age of 34, just chilling, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's literally less.
I want to do that right now. The age of 42.
There's 20 million millionaires in the US. There's only 80,000 people with visible abs. Not like this, but just visible.
Yeah, yeah. But
Physically,
that
they're
speaks
weak.
to how you eat. That speaks to how you train, which, you know, you're a beast. You're an athlete. So last question. And this might be, I don't know if it's a somber way to go out, but I just want to bring up a political current events. What is your take on this war?
War.
War.
Well, I have so much to say about the war.
Because,
I
okay,
have so
let me
much.
say something first.
Yeah.
And then you just go from here. You're going to take us out. So when Hezbollah first struck Israel, I was like, they got to be out of their they got to be out of their mind, right? Because I know Israel. Israel doesn't play no games.
Right.
Right? And so then, boom, come back in, boom. There's a point where I felt personally that Netanyahu was taking it a little too far. Like his point was proven. But then Iran comes over the top of the mountain with the freaking rockets coming out of the sky. Most of them didn't hit. And I watched an interview. I think it was Foreign Relations, or I forgot who he is. I forgot his name. He was like, listen, we're not going to take this lightly. We're not going to, we're going to hit him back. We're going to hit him back hard. Is there never going to be an end? Because if you're going to hit, they're going to hit, you're going to hit,
Let me
they're
ask
going to
you
hit.
something. I'm trying to think how to not be too controversial.
No, just be real, bro. Like,
Let me ask you right now. You understand that war makes money, right?
A lot of money. It's been doing it since beginning of time.
Who makes money, the rich or the poor?
The rich,
When there's war, who goes to war, the rich or the poor?
the poor,
Who dies, the rich or the poor?
the poor,
Then who want to have war, the rich or the poor?
the rich.
Do you understand that Israel is not called the country of Israel, it's called the state of Israel? Why is it called the state?
Enlighten me.
It's because it's United States.
Oh,
It's part
right. That's
of-
why. That's why we are bound.
So
We're bound to protect them. We're bound to.
And
have
the
their back.
reason, because we are,
Lifelong, lifetime, forever.
yes,
Forever.
we are the only sane ones in the Middle East that you could shake a hand and you know that it all is going to be taken care of and we're going to be there for you. But we do exactly what Papa says. We don't do anything that Papa says don't do. So many years ago, they were talking about, oh, how come? And you know what? Dan Bilzerian was talking about that. You know, he's been going a little wild, saying, you know, back in, I think it was the 60s, that they took down a little ship of United States, of the U.S.
Yeah.
Do you think Israel would take down a ship?
It wasn't Israel.
And he says it's Israel.
It wasn't Israel.
Do you think, and we would be alive? We
was
had
during-
no strength back then. We had no
That was-
power.
that-
We were
that was
after
Russia.
World War II.
That was Russia trying to start a conflict.
It was after World War II. We had no power.
Yeah, it
Listen, we do exactly what Papa says, and Papa is US. And because they always take care of us as their children, they took responsibility as we are their children. Like God says, we are the chosen people. They took us like we are their children. Because they treat us that way and they look after us, United States will always be the strongest country in the world. They will never fall because they're always looking after God's children.
And that's a mandate. I think it's higher than politics. I think it's
If not, we'd be off the map.
prophetic word about this.
Yeah, but we'd be off the map
Yeah,
if
there's
not.
prophetic word. And so
There's a few billion people around the world that want us all dead. They want us dead.
they want us around you. But we have your
today,
back.
with our ability, with one button, there is no Palestine, there is no Iran, there
But
is
you know that
no
activates
Lebanon.
everything else.
We could
Everybody gets activated.
we could deactivate everybody if we wanted to, but we are people of peace. We are people of peace.
But haven't had peace in thousands of years.
You know what? I said this to my wife the other day. It's crazy that we create war in order to have peace,
You just said that earlier.
But we create war in order for us to have peace in the world, and it shouldn't be that way. Because if you look at Jews, we never attack first. We always attack
We
back.
retaliate.
We retaliate. So it's a big conversation. A lot of people are very touchy about it. But listen, if Hamas wanted it to end, they would just give us back our children. Right? But they don't want this to end because they don't even care about their own people. But if you go over there today in Gaza and Palestine, whatever you want to call it, there's so many Israeli soldiers that are helping the civilians there that are Palestinian to move to different
They don't show that.
locations. And now they're starting to show it. Now they're starting to show that we feed them and we give them shelter and we move them around and we really care for the people. So I wish that the world wouldn't scream so much for no reason because they created chaos everywhere. And a lot of people even here in the US got affected. But I want you to know I have friends from every single race. And I have friends from every single religion. And it seems like behind closed doors, we could all be perfectly fine because we're having a normal conversation. Mm-hmm. And it seems like the people who are creating the chaos are not even a part of it.
So now, last question. You have made yourself financially powerful. What you do philanthropically, what do you feel like your influence, how can it help maybe bring some peace in the Middle East? I mean, straight up.
Yeah.
What do you think you can do?
So I'll tell you what I'm working on. Actually, for the next 4 years, I'm going to practice becoming a politician. I want to become the president of the United States. I want to take the crown from Donald Trump. I want to be the first Israeli president. I was born here, so I could become one. And I want to bring peace behind everybody, I want everybody to understand that at the end of the day, there is one love, there's one God. It's not like we're going to go up there and there's going to be a different God. Hey, you're Muslim, go to the left. You're a Jew, go to the right. Or you're Christian, go straight. It's not like that. There is one God, and we have to learn to accept everybody. Because if you're saying that blacks shouldn't be here, or Jews shouldn't be here, or Christians or Muslims, then you are now saying that God is wrong. Because God created all of us, and God does not make mistakes.
That's right. Come on now, Ben. King. Let's go, King. Hey, bro, I just want to say this has been such an enlightening gift and a blessing and a breath of fresh air for my day. The OG, Ben, King, Azoulay, bro. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Hey, thank you for
having me, man. Thank you, brother.